I've said it before, but I'm a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise, and I have been for as long as I can remember. So of course I played many of the games based on the franchise. Some of my earliest video game memories are playing the original TMT game for the NES with my cousins. We never got far in the game, usually because the NES would act up, and we would have to spend a lot of time trying to get the game to work, but also because of that damn underwater level with the electric seaweed. Seriously, what the hell was up with that seaweed? If you played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But I still enjoyed playing the game regardless of that. Of course, as time went on, I played several other games based on the franchise. Some of my favorite being Turtles in Time, the Hyperstone Heist, and the Tournament Fighters. But around the mid-1990s, they barely made any more TMT games, mainly because the show was dying down and the popularity was also dying down. I think they had a few handheld electronic games, but I never played them. It wasn't until the 2000s with the new 2003 TMT series that they started making new games for the franchise. And while I did watch the 2003 series, I never played any of the games that came out around that time. It wasn't until 2012, the 2012 series came out that I played another TMT game. And I remember enjoying that game, but not being very impressed by it. So I again drifted away from the TMNT games, as they weren't really offering me very much. I was still a fan, but I was sticking with the cartoons and the comics, as they were more entertaining to me. But then I saw the Mutant Ninja Manhattan trailer, and it just grabbed me. The art style looked awesome, and the gameplay looked clean, and I just really had to play it after watching the trailer. So yeah, the game looked promising, and the only thing I was hoping for was it to deliver a fun, memorable experience. So was it able to deliver it, or was it just another forgettable experience? Well, let's rock it and find out! Okay, so Mutant Ninja Manhattan was obviously based off the TMNT franchise, and it was developed by Platinum Games and published by Activision. Mutant Ninja Manhattan is the third licensed game developed by Platinum, the other two being The Legend of Korra in 2014 and Transformers Devastation in 2015. According to Platinum, the game is based on their own vision, instead of any previous comic books or movies or games. The game designer Iro Shirahama, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, said that the team watched the TMNT animated series and also played the old TMNT games for the Super Famicom during development of the game to get a better understanding of the universe and the characters. Matteo Santoluco, sorry again if I butchered that name, inspired the game's art style. He's the current artist for the IDW comic book series, which if you're a fan of comics or the TMNT, you should really go check it out because it's a really good comic. And Tom Waltz, who previously wrote the IDW TMNT comic, was the game's lead writer. The game's existence was first leaked in November of 2015, when database miners found Mutant Ninja Manhattan was raided in Australia. Then in early January 2016, Xbox achievements were leaked. That is something that normally happens, so it's something strange, but the odd thing about it was that the game was not even announced at that point. On January 26, 2016, Platinum Games finally officially announced the game.
Spoilers!
The story begins with Shredder meeting Krang on top of the TCRI building and talking about some mysterious plan. They both agreed that now is the time, and Shredder sends out his Foot Clan to act out the plan. Meanwhile, at the Turtles' lair, April informs the Turtles about increased crime in the city. Splinter believes it's their old enemy, the Foot, causing trouble again, and they are honored bound to stop them. While patrolling the city, the Turtles spot the Foot running around the Purple Dragon's territory. They decide to follow the ninjas and find out what they're up to. While following the Foot, they encounter Bebop, robbing a bank. After the battle, Bebop runs away, dropping the money he had stolen. The Turtles then wonder why he would go through all the trouble of robbing the bank, but then just leave the money behind. Back at the lair, the Turtles report to Splinter that he was right, and the Foot is involved with the crime wave. They next decide that they need to investigate more and figure out what the Foot's plans are so they can stop him. During their investigation, they discover destroyed subway switchboxes and damage to the subway tunnels. They contact April, who informs them that she is getting reports of destroyed switchboxes throughout the city and it's causing the trains to go out of control. While exploring the subway system, the Turtles are attacked by Rocksteady. After they beat him, he warns them that they haven't seen anything yet and that it's just getting started. He then vanishes behind a subway car, while the Turtles wonder what he meant by it was just getting started. Next in the sewers, a bunch of alarm sensors that Donnie set up start picking up a lot of movement throughout the sewers. They worry because that part of the sewers is the territory of Slash. They do end up encountering Slash, and after a fierce battle, Mikey is able to calm him down. Now calm, the turtles ask what the Foot were doing in the sewers. He tells them that they were sneaking space guns and pulls one out to show the turtles. They return to the lair, where April and Donnie analyze the data they have gotten so far. With the data, they're able to determine that Shredder and Krang are teaming up for an invasion. They decide to search for Shredder and Krang, and while doing so, they get a bunch of bomb alerts for nearby buildings and decide to go disarm them. After they disarm the bombs, they are ambushed by Karai. They are able to defeat her, but she escapes by falling off a building and flying away with a jetpack. April then calls the turtles with some info from Casey. Really, they couldn't even give Casey a small role in the game? Anyways, Casey informs them that the Foot are transporting high-tech items through the sewers. While searching the sewers for the tech, they are attacked by Armagon. They defeat him, and he starts yelling that he was promised control of the sea before escaping. Donnie finds some of the tech the Foot was transporting and sends a picture to April. Continuing their search for Shredder, they notice a glowing moving light in the night sky. They check it out and find Wingnut. They battle and defeat him, but he manages to get away, barely. And he also warns the turtles that something else is coming. They again return to the lair, and finally figure out that Krang and Shredder are at the TCRI building, and the tech they found is used to open portals. Also, all the attacks and crimes around the city were just meant to be distractions. They sneak into the TCRI building and find Krang on one of the top floors. They defeat him, but he manages to escape. Man, bit of a pattern with the turtles beating the bad guy and then running away. Not repetitive at all. But before he escapes, he tells Shredder to start the invasion. They return to the lair, again, angry that they didn't find the portal of Krang, only to quickly discover the portal has opened in the middle of the city, and Krang is coming through it in a giant robot. They head to the city so they can shut down the portal. There they encounter Krang droids. They beat them and take control of them. With the Krang droids, they are able to defeat Mega Krang, but he warns them that this is not the end, and he will have his revenge. The portal does not close after Krang is defeated. Instead, the energy from the portal starts going out of control because of some interference from the TCRI building. Realizing that if the energy is not stopped, it could destroy the city, the turtles head back to the TCRI building. They fight their way up the TCRI building, and on its roof they finally encounter the Shredder. They run to stop him, but he launches the roof platform into the sky. And now, hovering above the city, their final battle takes place. After a grueling battle, they manage to defeat the Shredder, and he seemingly jumps to his death. But not before mocking the turtles. They are still doomed as the portal controls have been disabled. Donnie tries to hack the system to force a shutdown, while Mikey stumbles upon some jetpacks. Leo wants them to escape, but Donnie says no, because if he can't stop the machine, it could cause major damage to the city and kill hundreds. Donnie tells them that they should leave him, but Leo says if he's staying, they all stay. Donnie continues to hack this machine, but the platform and the turtles are seemingly destroyed. But BAM! Out of the explosion, the turtles victoriously fly out, stopping the machine and saving the city. They safely land on the ground, but suddenly, out of nowhere, Shredder's helmet crashes near them. They are shocked at first, but shrug it off, as they don't believe the Shredder has survived. But as they walk away, a figure slowly walks up to the helmet and picks it up. Dun dun dun! And then the screen fades to black. The game is a cel-shaded hack and slash. At the start of each level, you get to choose one of the 4 turtles: Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, or Raphael. You are able to quickly change character whenever you want during the single-player campaign, and the turtles you are not using are controlled by AI. You can equip each character with different special abilities that once used require a certain amount of time to cool down before they can be used again. Each turtle also has their own unique ability, like Leonardo can slow down time with turtle time, and Michelangelo can perform cheerleading, which instantly cools down all the turtles' abilities. Throughout each level in the game, you can find green, red, or white orbs. The green orbs give you battle points and sometimes items that can be used during the game. The red orbs give you a higher amount of battle points and better items, but are in harder to reach locations and must be broken open to receive the points and items. The white items are collectibles, which are covers from various issues of the TMNT comic and can be accessed from the main menu. Battle points can be used to upgrade the turtles' abilities before playing a new level. You can also use the battle points to buy items during the game for Master Splinter. Through the levels there are sewer covers that give you access to the lair and Splinter. You can also equip each turtle with a charm that gives the turtle a bonus ability, like a 5% increase on the amount of battle points gained, or a 5% strength increase. The game is divided into 9 different levels. In each level, you fight through enemies to advance in the level, and at times you have to complete missions like disarming bombs, or protecting some things like a pizza shack. At the end of each level, there's a boss battle, and each level has a secret boss. You can fight the secret boss on your second playthrough of the level. It's a cool feature, but the secret boss is just fighting 2 bosses at the same time. You also have something called the Turtle Glass that helps you see where you need to go next in a level, and also scans the level to help you find secret rooms. When the player character is knocked out, the other turtles can help revive him. If they don't revive him on time, that turtle that got knocked out is sent back to the lair, where he has to eat a bunch of pizza to be revived again, and the player will take over a different turtle in the meantime. If all the turtles are knocked out, then you have a certain amount of continues to fall back on. The game also supports 4-player online multiplayer, but it doesn't have any local co-op. Man, I really wanted to say that I love this game and I had a blast playing it, but sadly, I can't. At best, I tolerated this game, and I really felt like I had to force myself to complete it. It's really repetitive and kind of boring. I'm not saying it's a horrible game and no one should ever play it, but I think the majority of people will not get any enjoyment out of the game. Honestly, there really wasn't much that I can say I enjoyed about the game. I love the associated art style, and all the characters looked awesome. I mean, that's really it. The game looks, for the most part, awesome, but even with how good the game looks, many of the levels and the enemies look the same and hardly stand out from each other. And I know a few of the levels are reused, with slight differences, which is kinda cheap seeing how there's only 9 levels, and many of the levels feel pretty empty. There were times when I was playing where I felt like I was wandering through a wasteland, and since everything looks similar, it would take me out of the game, and I would start getting bored. I hate to say this, but I really wish the levels were a little bit more linear. But instead you mostly go from one area to fight enemies, just to go to another area to fight more enemies. It really felt repetitive, and even when you had missions to disarm bombs, it hardly changed up the gameplay. The boss fights were also pretty lame. If this was a shooter, I would be calling them bullet sponges, because that's what they were. Enemies with big life bars to do massive damage and take forever to kill. That's all there was to them. Just spam some abilities and try to avoid their special attacks. Rinse and repeat for every single boss. Also, the secret bosses are not that fun. When I first thought that there was a bonus for defeating the secret boss, I got excited because I actually thought they would be different enemies, not just 2 bosses at the same time. And like I said, finding the secret boss is easy. Just beat the level twice and you get to fight them. That is for all the secret bosses except the last secret boss, Super Shredder. For the life of me, I'm still not sure how you activate that boss battle. I beat the game on normal twice and nothing happened. So I beat the game again twice on hard and still nothing happened. So I beat the game 3 times on easy and I finally got to fight him. I still don't understand what activated the battle. And I looked online and many of the people said that it was random, which seemed to be true because my first online game I played was the last level, and for whatever reason we got to fight Super Shredder. It was just really frustrating and annoying trying to unlock that battle. The secret bosses are meant to give the game more replay value, but besides Super Shredder, there's no real reason to fight the other secret bosses, as they hardly add anything to the experience, and they don't even add anything to the story. Even if you fight Super Shredder, it doesn't change the end of the story, and he just randomly transforms. No real reason, other than someone thought it would be a cool boss battle. The story is also pretty bare bones, and unentertaining. I mean, for the most of the game, the Turtles can't figure out the Shredder is working with Krang. Even though you fight the Krang or Utrons or whatever they're called in this game several times, it really just felt like the story was an afterthought. I also hated the fact that there was no local co-op. I was planning on playing the game with someone at home, but when we went to play and saw that it had no local co-op, we decided to take turns playing the game instead. But we only ended up playing 1 level because it just wasn't fun. I just really think that any Ninja Turtles game should have local co-op, and not having local co-op really hurt my experience with the game. I know I shouldn't complain, because at least the game had online co-op. Well, the online co-op was pretty bad in my opinion. The few times I played online, it took at least 30 minutes to get a group together, and that was just 3 people, including myself. And when I did, they didn't say anything, and I might as well have been playing with suckier AI. Most of my online experience was just waiting for the game to connect, waiting for other people to join the game, waiting for the person who created the room to start the game. It just wasn't fun, but hey, at least I could play at home with someone else, right? Oh wait, I couldn't. I know, I've been overly negative on the game, and I really hate to be, but if this was an original IP, I would absolutely hate this game. Really, the only thing that slightly saves it is the art style, and that it's based on a franchise that I love. It's not the worst game in the world, but like I said, I don't think many people would enjoy playing it. So, would I recommend it? Well, yes and no. Yes, if you're a fan of the franchise, I think you might get some enjoyment from playing as the 4 turtles and finding some of their classic enemies. But even then, I would stay until the price drops down before playing it or buying it. And no, if you're not a fan of the franchise, or if you have high standards for the type of games you play, well, that's it for now. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Like, if you played the game, what did you think? Or what other TMNT games did you like playing or recommend? Alright, now with this adventure over, it's time to vanish like a ninja. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, if you like this video, check out some of our other videos. Like I made a review on the first season of TMNT. Check it out. And again, thanks for watching.